Welcome back, guys. In this video we're going to talk about aggregate functions. The most commonly used in SQL aggregate functions are the list you can see on the screen: min, max, count, sum, and AVG. Min is an acronym for minimum, max is an acronym for maximum, count, we also have sum is an acronym for summary, then AVG is an acronym for average. When you apply this inbuilt function min, which opens up a bracket and closes up a bracket, the bracket will actually contain the column you actually want to get minimum value. So that function returns the smallest value within the selected column. Okay, so any column you have actually specified within that bracket will return the minimum value. Okay, then the same thing applies to max. Max function, open bracket, close bracket, returns the maximum value of any column that is selected. Count returns the number of rows in a set. Okay, so if you apply this function on all the rows or specific columns, it returns a count. Then sums up the numeric values in a numeric column. Okay, a column containing numeric values will be summed up by the time you apply this sum function. Then AVG gives you or returns the average value of a numeric column. Okay, aggregate function ignores null values except for count. Null values are fields or column without values. So if you're looking at a database table record and you find areas where there actually no value, it's just empty, then you consider that the value there as null because there's really nothing there to report about. Okay, so we're going to go into the details of this and see how it works from SQL Server Management Studio. Join me as we get there. Welcome back, guys. We're going to be showing examples on aggregates using aggregate functions. So we'll start with the min and max. Okay, we already have three tables that we can actually use, so I'm going to use the product table. Let's see what we have in products table. Select star from products. Let's run that and see what we've got. We have ID, name, price, active, date, time. Okay, so these are list of products in the product table. Okay, now let's see what we can do with min and max. Okay, now let's say, for instance, we are looking at products with the minimum price, with the least price. Okay, or let's say smallest price or lowest price rather. Okay, so let's say of course that function is definitely going to come inside a select statement. We're going to select, so we are going to max we are starting with max, right? We're going to max the price to get the maximum or the highest price in the product list. So we do this max in the brackets price. We type the price from products table. Okay, so we have max price, the column name is price, so we'll add that inside the max function. We're going to run this and see the results we get. So 3.5 is actually the lowest price in the price column. Okay, I'm tired of saying no column name. Just in case you want to change column names, you can just use as max price. I've just renamed this column here. So to rename a column, you just use as, or you may not even add as at all. So max price as max price. Let's run this again and see what we got. Execute. Okay, max price is 3.5. So that is actually the lowest price. But let's confirm this by selecting all the products in the product table. Select star from products. Let me run this and see what we've got. 3.5 is actually the maximum here. This is 3.5. Okay, and what do we think is the minimum here? I think 1.1 is the minimum. That's almond. Let's see if that is what we get eventually at the end of the day by the time we change this to minimum. So we'll come here and change it to min price. You might decide to put this, to add this or not, but this is just so we can name the column at the end of the day. I'm going to run this line. So the minimum price is 0.5. So it's a simple, straightforward thing. Min, max. Let's try sum. Sum is also an aggregate function we are looking at. Let me change this to sum. Okay, I'm summing up all the price in the price column. Let's see what we got. Execute. 17.9. That's the sum total of all the price in the column table. Okay, let's say for instance we are not summing up all the columns, but anyway, let me run this again and see what we have. Let's say I'm not summing up all the columns in the column table. I am summing up price where ID is greater than 5. Okay, let's say I'm summing up price value where ID is greater than 5. So I am going to add a where clause to apply some condition where ID, which is the column ID, greater than, let's say 6, greater than 6. Let's see what we have as a result. So instead of the summary function here summing up the entire price values, it's going to sum up values where ID, product ID, is greater than 6. That means from here downwards, it's going to sum up all the values here downwards. Okay, I'm going to run this now and see what results we're getting. Execute. So we have a total of 5.8. So that's how you run that. So the same condition applies to all the aggregate functions. Okay, we've tried for min, max. Now we can also do the same thing for average. AVG gets the average value for price. Let's see. I'm going to, and again, I've, just in case I want to take this off instead of actually deleting it from here, but I just want to, you know, make this line inactive, I can comment it by using the dash character. Okay, dash. So this changed to green, so which means this line of code will be ineffective when I run the entire code. So I'm going to get the average price, for, yeah, the average price in the price column. Yeah, so let me run this and see what we have. Average gives us 1.79. Okay, let me rename this since I'm dealing with tab, or let me just take this away for now. It's not necessary, just to show you that you can change the name of the column. Okay, so we've run this and we got 1.79. so that is the average price value. You can apply where clause, you know, I've actually touched it, so I think that is also applicable for average. Then let's look at count. We count the number of rows where price has values or value is actually null. So it will also count null values. That's one thing we count. It will count all the rows, you know, in that particular table if there is no condition applied here. If I run this, let's see what we got. We have 10 rows. Okay, let me go back and run the entire product in the product table and see what we got. We have a total of 10 rows, and by the time we run this, we get the count of each of the lines here in the price column. It gives us this. So even if we change this one to ID to count all the rows in that particular column, okay, that's 10. So that's for, so we've done for min, max, average, count, sum. What else again? So these are the key aggregate function present in SQL. Okay, let's move on to the next.